Hello, my friends. Sorry I didn't make it up yesterday to the YouTubes, but it seems like I can manage about 6 days out of 7 to get a video up. And I didn't have a whole lot to report because I was still like at about here on the sleeve. I have gotten further, as you can see. I have done all but one decrease, so I'm at 50 stitches. And this pattern repeat is a 10 stitch repeat. So that's why I've paused here and I'm just trying this on, deciding how I like the sleeve length. Because at 50 stitches I could do, I could add in a colorwork repeat of this stuff if I decided I wanted it. So what I did is I got out my swatch and I'm going to try and put it on. Sorry for the shaking because I'm using some fingers. Okay. So this swatch is too small. It barely fits on my wrist, but it will at least give us an idea of what it would look like. Oh, that really doesn't work too well, does it? So I'm still not sure what to do. So I guess I should just try it. Maybe I'll put in a little bit of waste yarn so that I can pull it back out if needed. So do I want additional color work at the cuffs? And it would just be, again, that swirly bottom one. It wouldn't be the pine boughs. So that's where I'm at. Sleeve Island. I sort of got things a little better in knitting the sleeve and not having to flip the whole body of the sweater around while I was knitting it. But I basically would sort of torque the sleeve around and then spin it back to continue working in the round. So kind of annoying, kind of, you can't escape it. The only other thought I had was what was I going to do? Oh, to knit a sleeve separately. And then I could graft the stitches from here to the top of the sleeve. But one of the points of doing this top down was to completely minimize finishing. And I consider Kitchener stitch to be a finishing technique. And while I'm good at it, I've done a lot of it. At the same time, I'm kind of enjoying the fact that this is done. There is no hole here that I'm still going to have to Kitchener up or anything. So I think I'm just going to persist with the sleeves, kind of under protest though. So I wish there was a way I could join them without Kitchenering, like just do something still with just the knitting needles, but that's really not an option. So yeah, I'm still trying to decide if I want the cuffs. I'm also worried about the gauge. Obviously, this is 40 stitches on this swatch, I think that's what it was. So 50 there'd be room. And then I do that and then do the last decrease and then shift to the ribbing. And I'm going to do about 3 inches of ribbing, which will match the ribbing on the bottom of the sweater. Even though the sleeves will be longer, but it'll still be that same 3 inches of edging, which I think will be nice. And I think I showed you before, but here it is, the tiny little delicate rolled collar here, which I'm happy with. So that's where I'm at. I've got to finish off this sleeve and then do the other one, and then I'll be done. So could be Monday if I get a bunch of knitting done over the weekend here. So this is a short one. I'm sorry. I don't have a whole lot to report other than what I just reported. I still have to make this decision. And I guess the real thing is whether that color work is going to, because it's different gauge. It's about 6.5 stitches to the inch versus 6 stitches to the inch for the stockinette portion. And if it's just going to pull it in too much, I can't show you because I can't really take the swatch off now, but you can see the difference between where the color work is and then the stockinette above it, which actually was worked after, so it's sort of below it. The plain stockinette flares out a little because it is about 3/4 of an inch more stitches in this piece, this swatch, than it would be if it were to continue to be color work. So I don't know if I want that constraint right there, you know, at the wrists, or a little above the wrists. My arms are fairly scrawny and bony, so it wouldn't be a huge problem, but I also have to think about grading that out for other sizes and hitting that stitch count where you could do a whole repeat, or I have to sneeze. Sorry. Oh, you're getting the real me. But for other sizes, that 50 stitch mark, which is pretty much the lowest number of stitches before we get, anyway, that would hit at different spots for different sleeve lengths, for different sizes, because you're starting with a larger number of stitches or smaller. So it may just be easiest to leave it alone, or maybe I'll just do it and make a note. But I don't like doing that. I like to do patterns in such a way that everybody who makes it in whatever size they make it can make it so that it pretty much looks like the sample. Taking into account, you know, different sizes, different, you know, but you want the proportions to be about the same, and you want the same elements to be there for all sizes. So I probably should just keep going with just plain stockinette, and then the ribbed cuffs, and leave it at that. So maybe that's what I should do. But I love this, and I feel like I want more of that pattern here in the sweater, and I didn't want it at the hem. Oh, this is tough. I think I have to go back and look at my spreadsheet and see whereabouts the numbers are. I mean, the thing is that most humans' wrists aren't vastly different. It's like a half an inch off. So the question is, can I adjust the decreases for people so that they just do that at the bottom? And then if for the smaller sizes, they might have to decrease more for that last decrease. I don't know. So I guess that's what I need to figure out, because I really would like one last bit of this twirly, flowery vine thing, which still really needs a name. So any suggestions, I'm open. So that's where I'm at. That's what I got to go figure out now. I really do. And then I can get back to knitting, which is what I like to do on the weekends. I like to do pattern work and writing and thinking and calculating during the week. And I like the weekends to be free of that kind of stuff. I don't do much email or anything on the weekends. I like to knit and cook and be with my family. So that's what happens when your hobby becomes your job. So that's it from me today. I probably will be back tomorrow with what I decided. And so I will see you then. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.